went down.
This ball is huge.
Fisk University made history as the first HBCU to participate in an NCAA gymnastics event. Of course, they launched their program. The Fisk Lady Bulldogs launched their program, and they now, of course, are competing against the likes of Oklahoma, Michigan, UCLA, national champion, folks. The team's leadoff gymnast, Naimah Muhammad and Fisk five-star recruit Morgan Price made national headlines with their athletic ability and grace. And so they stepped into national headlines on Friday at the Super 16, the inaugural Super 16 event in Las Vegas. They finished in fourth place, the score of 186.700. Corrinne Tarver, a U.S. national team member during the 1985-86 season, a national floor title holder and two-time title holder with Georgia in 1987 and 1989, is the coach there, and she joins us. Glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So, how was it for your team to go there? Were they nervous? It certainly is a huge deal being the first HBCU to participate in gymnastics at this level.
I would say they were nervous, yes, but they were excited. We've been training all fall, so they were ready to get the season started. And this was a coming out party. It was definitely a coming out party.
There was lots of attention when the program started, when Morgan signed as well, and so I'm sure you were happy to get all that behind and actually go into competition versus folks talking about the program as opposed to now seeing them perform.
Yes, definitely. We have the longest preseason of any sport, so. It started back in August, and we compete in January, so it's quite a long time, and it's hard to keep people motivated for such a long period of time. So everyone was happy to get out on the floor and be able to show what we are capable of and show what an HBCU can do.
So explain to folks how this works, because when you look at football, you obviously have different divisions. Fisk is an NAIA school. So how are you able, as an NAIA school, to compete in a tournament against other larger programs?
We're technically right now considered like a club, even though we're not a club. We are, in fact, a collegiate program. But until we get our waiver approved from the NCAA, we can compete, and we can actually qualify for USAG Gymnastics Collegiate Nationals. So that is what our goal is for the year.
And so you said y'all are classified as a club?
Well, not really a club. We're a college program, but because we're NAIA, we're still competing against NCAA schools.
Right.
So we're kind of in this limbo.
So the Super 16 event, what other schools were there?
Oklahoma, UCLA, Michigan, Arizona State, BYU. We competed against Washington, University of North Carolina, and Utah State. There was also Rutgers and a couple others.
So there was 16. There were 16. You were the only HBCU, and y'all came in fourth. Pretty damn good.
We came in fourth in our session. There was 4 different sessions. So every competition is a different competition. So we weren't really looking for placement or really even worrying about our score. We just knew that we had to step out on the floor. I have a very young team. Most of my athletes are freshmen, so they've never been on a college stage.
Right.
And very different than what they did in the club level. So I just wanted them to go out there and get a great experience. And we got such an amazing and warm welcome that it helped the girls to relax and go out there and just do what they're capable of doing.
How many team members?
We have 15.
15. All 15 traveled?
Yes, all 15 traveled.
Right.
No, I take it back. 14 traveled.
All right. Questions from our panelists. Erica, you first.
Coach Tarver, it's indeed a pleasure and congratulations. Very excited for you all. Wanted to ask you, because your team and you were a gymnast as a Black woman, you have young Black women of color. What is it that you say to them to prep them to be in the experience? It's their sport, gymnastics, but going in as Black and women of color, how do you prepare them for that?
Honestly, these girls have all been doing that for years. They've all been competing for a minimum of 5 to, and some of them up to 10 years. So they're used to being one of the only. That's something that is just basically part of the sport. As a gymnast myself, I was one of only. I was the only Black gymnast on the University of Georgia's team. So we get used to it. As far as competition, I really don't focus on that. What I focus on is them doing their routines, trust their training, trust the preparation, trust their teammates, trust their coaches, and just go out there and do what they're capable of doing.
Larry.
Yeah, so Fisk is known for its academics, alum like W.B. Du Bois, among others. And so I've been following the story for the last couple of months. I just read a few articles, the last couple of weeks about leading up to this event, and read a couple of quotes from you. So congratulations on all the hard work and finally having the opportunity to kind of, so to speak, hit the floor. So my question is relating to recruiting, and you talked about a number of your individuals on the team are freshmen. So you're the only HBCU with the program. So, and obviously when you talk about we saw increasingly in the Olympics an increasing number of Black women participating in gymnastics of the last 25 years. So talk to me about recruiting, and, is it make it easier for you? Because like I said, Fisk has an excellent academic reputation and the only HBCU. Do you think it's going to make your recruitment efforts easier, or are there obstacles?
Believe it or not, Fisk kind of recruited itself. A lot of people ask, because I was hired in February to start a program that the athletes reported at the end of July. So I basically had about 4 months to get everyone together and to convince them to come to Fisk. But in all honesty, they kind of contacted us. And once they heard about the HBCU, because many of these athletes wanted to go to HBCUs. They come from families that are HBCU alum and they've grown up in that environment, yet they knew that they never had an opportunity to go and continue to do gymnastics. They would have to give one up. So Fisk adding a program allowed them to be able to do both dreams, to be able to get that HBCU experience, to be able to do gymnastics. And like you said, the academics are strong. We're a very strong STEM school. So a lot of my team members are going into the medical field in some way, shape, or form.
On that particular point there, since you announced the program, of course, all the different stories that have been done, have you been deluged with phone calls or emails or letters from parents and other folks expressing interest? And have other schools contacted you about saying, hey, we would love to try something similar at our school. How do you make it happen?
Yes, to all of them. We've gotten a lot of interest from recruits. We're looking at the class of 24 and 25 at this point in time. So we are looking at trying to bring in maybe anywhere from 5 to 10 athletes next season, depending on how many of them are going to get academic money, because that is something that we do rely on a lot. We do have athletic scholarships, but we are looking to go NCAA Division II. So we keep it in the limit that the NCAA has for gymnastics. So we have to be careful with that. But we do academic money a lot. As far as, the other things, we're here, we're ready to go. And, so many athletes want to be a part of the HBCU experience. We have gotten calls from other schools, but most are taking a wait and see right now.
Right. Look, bottom line is everyone understands college athletics. The reality is football pays for many programs. Fisk doesn't have a football team. Secondary basketball does. It's even harder at an NAIA school because you don't have the television contracts, things along those lines. And so it really comes down to when you have some of your top athletes, you're getting scholarship offers from other places, and it comes down to money.
Yes, it does. It really does. But as many people know, that gymnasts tend to be very strong academics students. So many of my team members are getting provost or presidential scholarships. So that is our goal, is to find athletes who are good in the classroom as well as good in the gym.
Well, certainly congratulations. What's the next tournament? What's up next for y'all?
We are at the University of Michigan on Friday and the University of Georgia on Monday.
Wow. All right then. Well, and if folks, I'm not sure if any of those are televised, and so if do you have any idea how people could watch them if they are?
Well, they're always live streamed if they're not live on TV. So you can always go to their websites and they always have them streaming. So we'll be able to see the meet. I don't know how much they show of different programs, but it'll be on somewhere.
Okay. All right then. Well, look, congratulations and good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Checks and money orders go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland@RolandSMartin.com.